All right, Coco, thanks for coming on.
Sure.
So we were chatting on LinkedIn. To give you some context. I'm in this discovery mode of Web 3.0, intersection between like NFTs, metaverse, blockchain-based business. And I believe that we connected because you were somehow involved in making things viral. I can't remember.
I mean, I've been
into it.
I've been involved in crypto since 2017, and then I have been part of a couple different NFT projects and just Web3 projects in general. So that might be why. I do run a marketing agency as well, and so that could also be another part of this. Not totally sure, but yeah, I wasn't totally sure why you reached out, but I never really look at my LinkedIn, and yours was one of the few messages I decided to click on. So
oh, cool. Well, I'm a bit antiquated, so I use LinkedIn to connect with people instead of Twitter. So
that's
awesome. So yeah, like I was just interviewing to give you some examples of people that I like to interview. I was interviewing one of the writers of Marvel. He's done some pretty amazing stuff. He was doing like the new Spider-Man series, and we were talking about NFTs, as well as like the new Nickelodeon launch of their NFT collection and stuff like that. So, yeah. So in this process, to kind of give you a little bit more context, I came from DeFi, so decentralized finance, and as I was interviewing hedge funds and family offices, I realized that they were changing gears. And they were moving from DeFi plays to things that have more to do with NFTs and metaverse, as well as they were just pulling out of the market altogether. But I saw a trend that I thought would be really interesting to cover for my channel, so that they could hopefully find some inspiration from people that I interview, people like you that have their own story, that have been involved in crypto or NFT projects, or maybe digital marketing, and moving them from Web 2 to Web 3, like all the above. I want my audience to be able to see that, and hopefully with the inspiration, do something about it.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, I think the most relevant NFT project right now, or at least like in my hemisphere, it's not necessarily, I wouldn't really call it an NFT project, but I did send you a link to the website. It's a company called Overline. And we essentially launched with an NFT portion to kind of generate some awareness before we hit off on phase 2. But Overline, it's essentially a multi-chain for launching wireless blockchains. And so they've created their own blockchain, and the transaction speed is absolutely incredible. But the NFT portion is essentially, we wanted to lower the barrier of entry for people to own digital land in the metaverse for free, basically. So all you do is you sign up with your email, and you get an email, you verify that that's your email, you create an account, and you immediately are sent, or your NFT is already in your account. So your NFT is a plot of land. It's a physical and digital plot of land. So it's a digital plot of land that corresponds to a physical plot of land, if that makes sense. So it's 1.67 acres of actual land in like the real world. So say that it's like Midtown Manhattan or something like that, and you own that in the metaverse as well. And you'll essentially be able to make money off of this. So the next portion of this is something called an ōRouter, which I think they're available for pre-order right now. But the ōRouter, it's a wireless router. It's a completely decentralized wireless router that allows you to operate your cell phone, or it allows you to trade, operate social media, send messages without internet or cell phone signal. And so it's a pretty powerful next step for Web3. And you can trade crypto, you can trade stocks, like whatever it is, but it's completely decentralized, and it's untraceable essentially. And so once that hits, say that you are in Midtown Manhattan, which is a very like high traffic area where there's a lot of, a lot of like quote events happening. There's a lot of people talking to one another and, doing messaging and this or that. And, anyone who essentially has a router within that area, the routers will be wirelessly mining. And so it'll be wirelessly mining a coin called Overline. And that's what actually powers this network. And you as the landowner will keep 50% of all of the profit generated from all the routers within your area. You're also able to communicate with anyone who has a router in that area. So every time you refer a friend or refer, whoever, an affiliate, there's also like an affiliate portion of it too. So if I send you like my referral link, you sign up, I get another plot of land. So, the goal is to acquire as many plots of land as possible. And then once we like kind of close the door, or, once we cut off the NFT portion of this, within 60 days, it's supposed to be right. I don't know if the date's going to change. Right now, it's supposed to be August 16th, but your plot of land will be revealed. So you'll actually know what plot of land you do own. And then like in the meantime, you'll get like a PFP. There'll be, there's a bunch of little things that are going to be happening between now and then, but it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty interesting. It's different. It's not something that I've, really heard of anyone else doing anywhere. And yeah, and the other really cool thing about this is Overline allows you to do something called NFT teleporting. So if you have an NFT on the Bitcoin blockchain, you can actually move it from blockchain to blockchain. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big project. There's a lot more that is going to be, coming out, but that's pretty much the gist of it.
I've got so many messages in here, so I'm trying to find your message with the link. Is it just Overline like .io or something, or?
No. I'll send you a message. It's we actually haven't changed the. There you go. I just sent you the thing in the chat.
Might take a second. Oh my gosh. My inbox is just flooded right now.
Oh, I sent it to you through the
oh,
Zoom
okay.
chat.
Gotcha. Let's take a look here. I'll share my screen.
Sure. Or for me, I can share my screen. There you go, you got it. Yeah, so at the top, you'll see like there's all the different kind of like phases of this. There's Overline itself, the ōRouter, OLAN apps, the OMAP, and the community itself, which is the Discord channel. But yeah, this is it. You put your email right in there and you can claim your free land. And once you sign up for an account, then your land is already in there and you can access your referral link in there as well. That's a nice little chart to kind of just show, what is the typical point of entry to own land in the metaverse. And
yeah, that barrier to entry.
it's pretty nuts.
I know one of my colleagues was like, Ryan, you need to buy some land in the Decentraland or the Sandbox and build something on it. And I'm like, what am I going to build? I don't want to, spend a bunch of money yet if I don't know how am I going to monetize that. But here it's like, you can get it for free, start building right away and start monetizing. So it's like, I think like there's a different concept. This is not the same, obviously, very different, but like there's, oh shoot, can't even see this because of my screen, but I've got a Bobcat miner. It mines helium. So it's like a connection of IoT devices, and it's like a hotspot. And so it mines helium that way. And so I would
Right.
imagine maybe some of the technology is somewhat similar in that regard, but you've been able to take a different approach that's unique that integrates NFTs with that.
Well, it's also helium requires internet. These
Yep.
routers don't.
Okay, and so that's where I'm like, okay, well, how does that work? You
Um,
don't have internet. How do you?
so it's actually it's something called ambient RF. So it operates off of the excess radio frequencies.
Okay. All right, ambient RF. That's cool. That's something I can look more into. And is there a white paper in here, or?
There is a white paper. I know that we are redoing the white paper, but if you kind of like go around the website a little bit more, and like if you go to the top bar and just kind of like go through it, there's a lot more information that you can find.
The internet is so 1983. That makes me feel old. Pocket-sized passive income generator empowers users to generate passive income.
That is how small it is. It's really tiny.
I love it. I'm like really interested because I love to tinker. So, I've got like my Bobcat miners. I've got my Deeper Connect Mini.
Yeah. Well, you should definitely sign up. I mean, it takes like 30 seconds. I mean, it's super easy. And yeah, I mean, it's fun, and share the news. I mean, it's not gonna be free forever. And for now, we just wanted to get it out there and give people a chance, and just give like everyday people a chance. I mean, we have a TikTok account. We did a man on the street just saying, like, do you know what an NFT is? Like, if we were to offer you a free NFT, would you take it? And some people are just like, I don't know, like, I don't even know what it is. And it's like, okay, well, do you want to own land in the metaverse? And the typical response is it's way too expensive. And so that's just like another reason why we did that. We want this to be something that like your grandma can own land in the metaverse. It's like, hey, do you want to be cooler than your kids? I like you can say I own multiple NFTs and land in the metaverse. So yeah.
This is really cool. Okay, LoRa, Bluetooth, proof of distance.
Yeah, that's something I would definitely look into, is the proof of distance. Sorry.
Very cool. Well, I'm interested to find out more and even read through the white paper. So like in the phases that you guys are in, you've already, I don't know what phase 1 was, but phase 2 is the router. So when's that coming out? When's the ōRouter going to be?
So it's available for pre-sale right now, and I'm waiting on the actual launch date, so I don't have that set in stone yet.
Okay. Well, I'm going to sign up. So because I want to cover it again. Like once I've got mine set up, then I want to cover it again and be like, okay, here's what my ōRouter is doing.
Yeah,
here's
no,
definitely generating. Here's my NFT.
Exactly. No, I would
so
definitely sign up, because so we don't really like send out like a ton of emails. The only emails you're really going to get are going to be updates, essentially, on like, hey, like, like the ōRouter is available. You'll be one of the first to know that the ōRouter is now available, and it'll be like shipped out, at whatever date. It's pretty much, it's just going to be like updates. I mean, I think we send out emails maybe like once or twice a month at the moment, so it's not like you're going to be getting bombarded by anything by any means. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that might have been like our biggest challenge, was just kind of like, okay, like, how do we get people to understand, like, it's like we're trying to sign up as many people as possible, but we're not going to like inundate you with crazy emails or anything like that.
Gotcha. So the product itself, is there like a scheduled date on when manufacturing for the product itself should be finished, or?
So the manufacturing is done, like the product, it's done, it does work. We're just finishing the first batch of them. So I can't remember how many exactly we're going to be coming out at the beginning. I think it's like 10,000. And then we'll be sending those out. And so the sooner you find out, or sooner you sign up, the like the higher up on like the wait list or whatever you want to call it, you'll be. But the proof of distance, yeah, I would definitely look at that. It's essentially, it's an algorithm and it proves the distance between two radio antennas using like electrostatic interference. And so that's how, you know, the communication is done between the routers. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Once we, well, I mean, I obviously want to get one because this is going to be pretty sweet to cover and tinker with. And then
Yeah.
of course, anything that like has some sort of passive income with it and like an NFT backing, I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
And then once I get a hold of your white paper, I'll be able to go through like all the cool stuff, like the nerdy stuff and the tokenomics and all of that.
Yeah. No,
I signed up for your Discord, so
okay, cool. Yeah,
I'm sure
no,
someone in the Discord too is going to be like, oh yeah, here's the whatever.
yeah, no, Discord is awesome. And then yeah, like I said, once you sign up, you'll get the emails, and that's super helpful. The podcasts are really helpful in listening to, but a lot's changed. So we do need to restart the podcast now that we've kind of like the roadmap in and of itself has changed. But yeah, so we're about to kind of do like another big push, another big launch, and like I said, phase 2 is going to be the launching of the routers. So once that happens, that's going to be awesome. But yeah, I think for now, just sign up, you know, with as many emails as you want. I would collect as much land as you can, and you know, the more land you have, the better chance you have of getting, you know, a really great plot of land in like a high trafficked area. You know, you're obviously going to be making more money in the middle of New York City than you are in, say, like the nowhere Wisconsin. But yeah,
I love it. And so like the idea is that like other IoT devices in that area will be able to connect to almost like a hotspot too. Is that kind of the idea?
it's essentially, yeah, kind of like, yeah, it creates a mesh network. That's what it does.
Okay. Cool. I was just asking because I want to know a little bit about the technology before I jump in the white paper, but that's kind of like the idea I was thinking. Because if they're using LoRaWAN technology, I'm like, okay, how does that integrate with some of the other? Because there's other projects that use LoRaWAN technology for like proof of coverage, like with helium, and I think there's like a couple others. But again, this is a very unique approach to it. It's different. That's what I like.
Yeah, I mean, it forms a peer-to-peer wireless network, and the ambient RF it's what makes Web3 quote passwordless. So the router is using the proof of distance to compare samples of the ambient RF signals, and those will automatically trigger smart contracts and transactions and trades based on the presence of a human or the location of an object. So the waves just allow for basically the identification of humans and their activities, like what they're doing, if they're trading, if they're purchasing something, that sort of thing.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate you covering this with me. I'll put it on my channel so that I can get some comments and some other interested parties. And again, let's do a follow-up.
Yeah.
Once
Would love to talk more about this.
I want to get it going.
Yeah, well, once you do a deep dive, feel free to, I think you have my email, right? Yeah, you should have my email. Feel free to contact me, and happy to talk more.
All right, Coco. Thank you.
Awesome. Talk soon. Bye.
Yeah, bye.